Hi, my first live feed on TikTok. Hopefully we'll get some people coming in and joining up. Hello Sonia. Hey Tom. Hello Mark. Welcome. Hello Amir. So today we're just going to be talking briefly, or hopefully getting you guys to open up a little bit if you want to. You don't have to share anything personal, but we're just addressing today whether or not there's anyone joining today who's been through mental health traumas, struggles, divorces, child custody, court proceedings, that kind of thing. Just really have a chat. I'm trying to build a bit of a support network so people can all come in, join in the lives, and maybe just because for me, I went to various different support places. I've been to Andy Mann's men's club and other ones that will remain nameless, but they didn't really work for me. I found opening up to other people who are willing to listen and have that frame of mind, who want to help, that I found that they were more supportive than me paying or going to a club such as I've mentioned there that was more chummy. They knew each other outside of the clinic, if you like, outside of the club, and that really wasn't for me. I wanted somewhere I could go and just speak my piece, not be anonymous, but kind of, I suppose, just be a number. You know, I wanted to be a number. I didn't want to be a friend. I didn't want to have to socialise outside of everything. And yeah. Hello Ahmed, thanks for joining. So yeah, if any of you that are joining in today have any struggles, you know, please share, please join the fan club, send me some hearts up there, and let's build a little community to support one another and show support for men, not just men, but women as well, but people that are struggling, that have had various fights and struggles, and whether you suffer with depression, anxiety, stress, or a bit of everything there, then yeah, please share. Obviously you can message me privately as well, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you don't want to open up on the live forum, which I can completely understand, but
your questions answered on today's live, then please make sure you are looking here. It is a hand heart gift for one question, or a swan gift for one question.
Let's get rid of that. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Hello Gary. So we're just talking today a little bit about mental health for men and women. Any mental struggles or father's rights struggles you might have had, just anything you want to share really, around mental health, courts, child custody or visitation, access, that kind of thing. Please drop a message. Hi guys, hi Ant, thanks for joining. 4K, thank you. Hi guys, thanks for joining the live. We're just talking again, as I say, if there's anything you want to share about mental health, about father's rights, visitation, courts, that kind of thing, then yeah, please share. Hello Selena, thank you for joining. Hello, thank you for joining everybody. It doesn't look like anyone's going to share today, but okay, so basically I started Mind Before Muscle because I've had my own struggles. So I am diagnosed with depression, stress and anxiety. Get your teeth in. That's had its issues over the years. It was basically brought about by the passing of my mum, and the bereavement that followed that, and not being able to handle or understand the emotions that followed. I got myself into some trouble, and unfortunately it's only at that point, when you get yourself into a bit of bother, that the relevant individuals decide to kind of implement and suddenly come out of the woodwork, despite 2.5 years of shouting for help from them. Then all of a sudden it's all, well, now we'll help you because you actually done something wrong. You've got yourself into some bother, but we wouldn't help you before. So yeah, got myself into some trouble. We're not going to go into any of that, but suffice it to say, it destroyed my marriage, and consequently my children, as they often do, end up going with the mum. Now, I've had my fights with that. You go through the divorce, you go through the child access, the custody, that kind of thing. I lost out every way, which way. Same old story, I guess, isn't it? But I came out the other side. That's the important thing to take from all of that. Everyone has their struggles. Everybody has their woes, but it's how you handle them. It's how you become the bigger, the better person, despite everything that people, and more importantly life, has to throw at you. And that's exactly what I did. And so I decided to start a podcast and stream and put myself out there under the prefix of Mind Before Muscle. Now, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm working towards steps in that way, but I'm by no means at this current point a voice to be listened to and taken full heed of. I'm here to support and guide, signpost if I can, but equally saying that, I was signposted every which way. It didn't get me anywhere. You go to these agencies, these organisations, these charities, and it's almost like they're reading from the same script. They say the same things. Their playbook is exactly the same. And I found that very, very tiring, and it just wasn't fun. You go to these places, you make calls to these places, and they're suggesting the same tactics, the same tricks that may well work for some. I'm not going to say they don't, because who am I to say? But they didn't work for me. So I did my talking therapies, not CBT, because I was deemed I didn't need CBT. But I did my talking therapies and my various other things I had to do to jump through various hoops in regards to being able to see my children once again, which I've done, and until last year was seeing my children without hesitation. Then we get a friend of my ex-partner who just rocks up one day and causes a whole multitude of problems, and we then basically reset to zero again. And I'm back where I started in 2020, late 2020, early 2021, which isn't fun. There are lots of things that are happening at the moment. I watched a video earlier, and it was a guy talking about accusations and how these accusations are brought up in family court or civil court, but the accusations being thrown out there perhaps really ought to be dealt with within a criminal court. And he was basically saying, which I fully support and agree with, that regardless of who these accusations are put out there by, if these accusations are being put out, then they ought to be addressed. Once they are addressed, and once they have been cleared by the police in the first instance, then I believe that the accuser should face some level of consequence. That's never going to happen. It's just the justice system as it is. That's how it works. People can say what they want, and as a man, as a male, you have to just hold your chin up and fight what you can fight. But ultimately, how do you discredit, how do you disprove things that are completely fictitious, that have absolutely no bearing in reality, no fact, and more importantly, no foundation? You can't. You simply cannot. So you bide your time, you wait for the investigations, you wait for things to just simply die down. But the problem being with that is that when these accusations are thrown out there, as I've been reliably informed by multiple law individuals, that doesn't mean that you're clear. So that brings you back to the whole criminal court side of things. I would love nothing more than to be able to bring my accuser and accusers to justice. But that's never going to happen, as I said. So, yeah. That's basically where I am at. Currently in a custody fight. A visitation fight really, more, not a custody so much. Because that's never going to happen now with the accusations that have been thrown around. But, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say really, other than if you've got any struggles like this, or any of this really resonates with you, or you think may resonate, with somebody else, then please share this live, share the video, and let them hear it, let them see it, and hopefully it'll bring some solitude, some peace to people that are in a similar situation to myself. And there's many of us across TikTok alone. There are multiple. I'm going to probably end the live fairly shortly because this is my first one, and it's just to kind of get myself out there and hopefully encourage some of you guys that might well be struggling as well, just to share a little bit, and ultimately just to get to know some of you. So, if and when I jump on again, then please also just come and join me. Come say hi. Come and share. Come and just participate. Be lovely to see you all. Maybe get to know some of you on a more personal level. But yeah, just what I was basically going to say was I stumbled across this purely by chance. But there's a lady who has written a beautiful book, which I'm yet to read. In fact, she's written many books. But this one in particular was about parental alienation from the child's perspective, which I will also go into more in depth, hopefully in a future video. But yeah, if any of you, please, if any of you are struggling, or you think that I may be able to offer you some level of advice or support or help, please reach out. I can't promise to answer perhaps as quickly as you might like, but as soon as I'm able, I will respond, I will answer questions, and hopefully give you some advice, give you some pointers, give you some direction that may help in your fights, in your struggles, in your day-to-day. And yeah, just wanted to say hi, and hopefully see many of you again. Please, if you would like to, and only if you'd like to, please give me a follow so that at least you've got an immediate response as to when I jump on another live. And yeah, I really look forward to seeing you all as soon as possible. Oops. Thanks again.